Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Gizmo Joe. Today I have a item that everyone uses and probably takes for granted, the computer mouse. Now this one here is the Microsoft Arc Touch mouse. Just a little background about this guy. I picked him up on Amazon for about 50 bucks. I was looking for something that was pretty thin, and as you can see, this guy is super thin because I travel quite a bit on a plane, and I like to put as much stuff in as small of a space as possible because on your carry-on bag, if you travel a lot, you know it can be a nightmare sifting through everything. So basically, I wanted a really thin, really light mouse that I could just easily plug and play in a laptop or whatever on a plane. So I saw this particular device, and as you can see, it is flat. It is crazy flat. Now, I have another mouse that I reviewed a little while back now, and that was the Firefox mouse, and I quite like that one. However, it was a bit awkward to hold because, like this particular mouse, it was very, very flat. So it didn't have much ergonomics. Like I was, using it, but I felt like it was a bit awkward to hold because it was almost like I was, moving it around like this. Now, what's interesting about this particular mouse is that in order to use it, you actually have to bend it. Now, some of you may have seen this. This isn't a particularly new mouse. This is actually the first generation of the Microsoft Arc Touch. There is a new version, and we'll talk about that one in just a second. But basically, the way that this works, obviously, as you can see, the little nano receiver there is magnetic, and it just adheres to the bottom, which I think is really, really cool. But basically, you take this guy, you plug it into your computer or your Android device or your Linux laptop, whatever you got, just plug it in. It works on Macs as well, I should mention. And now when you're ready to use this guy, what you do is you bend it like so, and as you can see, the indicator light turns on. So what's really cool is when it's flat, it's off. Like it doesn't work. If I had this plugged in right now and this was flat, it does not work. You actually have to bend it to turn it on. And you'll notice that there's the little green LED indicating that it's on. Now, what is super cool about this is obviously it goes flat when you need to slip it in your bag. When you want to take it out, you bend it, and it's definitely more sort of ergonomic. It feels much more natural. It feels much better in the hand. I should also mention that this bit here is a texturized sort of rubbery sort of feel. So it actually feels really, really nice. Now, as far as the mouse is concerned, it's a 3-button mouse. So it's got your left and your right click, and they're fairly quiet. I don't even know if you can hear that. I'll shut up for a second. They're pretty quiet, so you're not going to bother anybody on the plane or the train or wherever you're taking this guy. I should also mention that it runs on AAA batteries, so there's 2 of those in there. I would have loved to have this guy be rechargeable, and the Firefox mouse is rechargeable, which is one of the reasons why I really like it. But like I said, it's you should get a decent battery life off of these. I think on Amazon it said you'd get something like 18 hours of continuous use, which, I mean, that's a really long time. So that's not really that big of a deal. Now, like I said, when this is tilted like this, that's working. So you get your left and your right click, but you also have this middle bit here. You'll see this middle kind of metallic sort of strip. It's plastic, but basically that's your scroll wheel. So it doesn't actually scroll. It doesn't actually move. It's kind of like a faux simulated scroll wheel. So basically you run your fingertip up and down like that, and what you get on here is haptic feedback, sort of like when you on your smartphone, your tablet or whatever, and you touch something and it sort of vibrates, gives you that vibration feeling. You can kind of feel that haptic feedback, almost like you are scrolling a physical wheel, but there's nothing actually moving here, which I think is a nice little touch. Some people in their reviews say that it takes a little getting used to. I didn't really have an issue with it. I thought it was pretty good. Just straight off the bat, it felt very natural to me. Now, one of the things I will mention as well is that this guy has the BlueTrack technology. I have tested this particular mouse on a variety of different surfaces, and pretty much the only thing it doesn't really work on is glass. I mean, you could pretty much have anything underneath this thing and your mouse will track. You will track. That pointer will bounce all over the place. Doesn't matter what it's on, save for glass. Now, again, I've been really, really happy with this mouse. It is pricey. It's probably the most expensive mouse I've ever purchased at about 50 bucks. I think they're running about 60 or so on Amazon right now. I could be wrong, but I'll leave a link down in the description in case you're interested. Now, like I said, this is the first generation of the Microsoft Arc Touch mouse. There is a new version, which is I think they just call it the Microsoft Arc mouse. Basically, it looks pretty much the same. I think it's got some slight aesthetic differences, but it pretty much works the same. It, bends like so and all that sort of thing. But the biggest difference is that it doesn't have the little USB wireless receiver, because the Arc 2 or the Arc mouse or whatever they're calling it is Bluetooth. It's more expensive for the Bluetooth, so Bluetooth is handy. You don't have to worry about losing this thing or whatever. But the reason I went with this one was because obviously it was cheaper, and I'm always budget conscious, especially running this channel where I pay for everything out of pocket. But I don't know. Sometimes Bluetooth is finicky. I have issues with it sometimes connecting to, so for instance, my Firefox mouse, it works on my Windows machine, no problem. But sometimes with the Linux, it drops out and I gotta mess around with it, and it's, kind of annoying. What I found with this one is that, this guy, you plug this in, there's no drivers to be installed, nothing. It just works. So I like that idea, like that when I'm sitting in an airport and I'm just kind of tooling around, I want to get some work done. I want something that just works. I don't want to screw around with my settings and my Bluetooth all the time. So, hence why I opted for the older model. But I would highly, highly recommend this mouse if money isn't really an issue, if you're not on a super tight budget. Splurge a little bit. It feels really nice in the hand, and it's just super cool. I love the fact that is a great design choice. That is just fantastic. The fact that it turns on, it's got that rubberized texture feel. It's just a quality mouse overall. I've been really, really happy with it. The only thing I'd say that probably I don't think it would be all that great with is gaming. But I don't do a lot of PC gaming, so I'm not really torn up about it. But if you are a PC gamer, you probably want to look elsewhere. But then again, you're probably not looking for a office sort of mouse anyway. But anyway, that's going to do it for the Microsoft Arc Touch mouse. A super cool design, functions really well, and it's definitely super portable. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And tune in next week. I put new videos up every single week. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Anyway, that's going to do it.